Emily had always believed she could escape her past. The bustling city she left behind was a distant memory as she settled into the quiet, picturesque town of Willow Creek. With its cobblestone streets, friendly neighbors, and the serene sound of birds chirping in the morning, it seemed like the perfect place for a fresh start, a place where no one knew her name or her secrets. For weeks, Emily lived a quiet life. She worked at the local library, nodding politely at her co-workers, but never getting too close. At night, she would sit by her window, sketching the trees outside, letting the peaceful rhythm of the town soothe her restless mind. But peace, as Emily would soon learn, is often an illusion. It all began one ordinary evening. Emily returned home from work to find a letter slipped under her door. The envelope was plain, unmarked, and inside she found a single sentence written in shaky handwriting. "I know your secret." Her heart stopped. Her hands trembled as she stared at the words. Who could have sent this? Was it a prank? Maybe one of the neighborhood kids trying to scare her? She tried to dismiss it, but the unease lingered, gnawing at the edges of her mind. The next morning, Emily buried herself in work, pretending everything was normal. But that evening, another letter awaited her. This one was more specific. You think you've hidden it well, but the truth always comes out. Emily's mind raced. Could someone from her past have found her? It didn't make sense. She had erased every trace, every connection. She had been so careful. Determined to uncover the truth, Emily installed a small camera by her front door. She was sure the letters were being delivered at night, and she would catch whoever was doing it. But for days the camera captured nothing. No shadows, no movement, just the empty street outside. And then, one stormy night, everything changed. Emily came home to find a new letter inside her house. The note was sitting on her kitchen counter, the words bold and chilling. "You can't run forever." Her breath caught. How had someone gotten inside? She checked every door, every window. Everything was locked, just as she'd left it. The fear was suffocating. Someone was watching her, and they were closer than she had ever imagined. Over the next few weeks, the letters kept coming. Each one revealed something more personal. Details from her childhood, things only she could know, memories she had buried deep. Emily felt trapped, paranoid, and completely alone. Then, one night, as she reviewed the footage from her camera, she saw it. A shadowy figure slipping a note under her door. She froze, her pulse pounding. Grabbing a flashlight, she ran outside, but the street was empty. Whoever it was had vanished into the darkness. Desperate, Emily turned to the local police. She handed them the letters, explaining everything. But their response was dismissive. Willow Creek was a quiet town, they said. Things like this didn't happen here. Frustrated but determined, Emily decided to take matters into her own hands. The next letter was different. Longer, it revealed the sender's identity, an elderly man named Walter who claimed to have known her father. His words were cryptic but unsettling. "I've been watching over you, just as your father asked, but now they're coming for you too." Emily's world spun. Her father had died when she was a child, an accident, or so she'd been told. But Walter's letter suggested something far darker. She had to confront him. The following day, she found Walter living in a dilapidated house on the outskirts of town. He was frail, his hands shaking as he opened the door. But his eyes were sharp, almost piercing. As Emily stepped inside, Walter motioned for her to sit. He spoke slowly, his voice heavy with the weight of years. Your father uncovered something dangerous. He thought he could protect you, but the people he exposed, they don't forgive, they don't forget. Emily's chest tightened. What did he uncover? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Walter hesitated, then handed her a small, locked box. This belonged to your father, he said. Inside, you'll find the answers you're looking for. But be warned, once you open it, there's no turning back. That night, Emily sat at her kitchen table, the box in front of her. Her hands hovered over the lock, her mind racing with questions. What was her father hiding? Why had Walter waited so long to tell her? As the storm outside raged on, Emily finally opened the box. Inside were old photographs, a faded notebook, and a single slip of paper with a chilling message. Trust no one. Emily's breath hitched. She didn't know what the future held, but one thing was certain. Her quiet life in Willow Creek was over. The past she had tried so hard to escape was coming for her, and this time she couldn't run.